The moment everything was on the line. You felt it take over. And you did nothing. Because you couldn't even name what it was. That hijacking happens because evolution built you to react first and think later. Under real or imagined threat, the amygdala fires before the thinking brain even knows there's a problem. Heart rate jumps, tunnel vision kicks in, hands shake, voice cracks, stomach knots. You already know the cost. The job you wanted that went to someone, the relationship you torched with one sentence you can't unsay. The free throw, the putt, the presentation, the conversation where you choked because something inside you went primal and you had zero control. Navy SEALs walk into rooms where people are paid to kill them and stay ice. They don't have better DNA. They have a protocol so simple and so powerful it feels almost unfair once you know it. By the end of this video you will own that exact protocol, word for word, rep for rep. You'll be able to name any emotion with such precision that it loses its grip in under 4 seconds. Any time, any stakes. Chapter 1. The rule they drill on day 1. First week of yes, they put you in the pool, tie your hands and feet, and flip you upside down. Most candidates thrash, blow their air, and tap out in panic. The ones who ring the bell never learned the first rule. Label it before it owns you. You do not say, "I'm scared." You say, "This is fear." Better, "This is fear of drowning while my ankles are tied." Even better, "This is fear plus cold plus 3 a.m. fatigue and the thought that my teammates are watching me fail." The instant you name it accurately, the prefrontal cortex lights up and the amygdala dial turns down, sometimes by 50% in literal seconds. UCLA put people in fMRI machines, showed them spiders and snakes, then had them label the feeling. The simple act of putting it into words was more effective than any distraction technique they tested. Real example from Hell Week. Wednesday night, 42 hours no sleep, water temp 54 degrees. One candidate is shaking so hard his teeth sound like dice in a cup. He's losing motor control. Instead of fighting the shaking, he says quietly to himself, "This is peripheral vasoconstriction from hypothermia. Core temp is dropping. Shivering is involuntary. This is not weakness, this is biology." 30 seconds later the shaking is still there, but it stops escalating. He locks his jaw, finishes the surf torture evolution, and keeps his place in the class. The feeling didn't leave. It just stopped running the show. Chapter 2. The precision that turns men into machines. Basic labeling helps. Surgical labeling dominates. "I'm stressed" is useless because it's vague. The brain hears stress and keeps scanning for danger. But when you say, "I'm feeling contempt because he dismissed my idea in front of the team and it triggered an old memory of my father doing the same thing," the circuit completes. The emotion is seen, mapped, filed. It has nowhere left to run. Declassified combat audio. Ramadi 2006. Point man rounds the corner, takes immediate fire. Best friend drops beside him. You hear his voice on the net, flat as glass. Anger spike detected. This is white-hot rage at the guy who just shot Ryan. Chest is tight. Breathing shallow. Heart rate 155. Rage noted. Returning fire on target 290. 2 seconds later, he's putting perfect rounds on target, while the rest of the stack is still catching up emotionally. He didn't suppress the rage. He named it so precisely it became data instead of a hijacker. Another example from selection. Candidate is on the verge of quitting during a 20-mile ruck run with blown-out feet. He labels, "This is self-pity mixed with legitimate pain and the story that I'm not cut out for this." By separating the pain from the story, he keeps moving. He finishes. The ones who only said, "This hurts," All quit that night. Chapter 3. How you make it automatic in everyday life. SEALs don't wait for bullets to practice. They practice on the grinder at 0500 when it's boring and cold and nobody's watching. Every boat carry, every log PT session, every icy surf passage is a labeling rep. This is burning in the traps and doubt that I belong here. This is humiliation from dropping the log again. They narrate discomfort out loud until it becomes reflex. You steal the exact same training plan. Start microscopic. Morning traffic. Instead of road rage, label, this is powerlessness plus time pressure, plus the story that being late means I'm unreliable. Email that triggers you at work. This is rejection sensitivity from the tone plus fear that my bonus is at risk. Argument with your partner. This is shame because I broke a promise plus fear that she's going to leave. Do 20 honest labels on small stuff, and by the 21st time, when the real storm hits, the skill is already wired. I've watched men use this in real time during layoffs, divorces, cancer diagnoses. The ones who label precisely suffer exactly as much as they need to, then move. The ones who stay at, I'm freaking out, drown in it for months. Here's the brutal truth. You will never eliminate emotion. Anyone who promises that is selling you a fantasy. But you can strip emotion of its driver's license in 4 seconds flat if you've done the reps. Calm is not the absence of emotion. Calm is emotion perfectly named, perfectly seen, and therefore perfectly controlled. Next time it rises in your chest like a black wave, don't push it down. Don't feed it. Name it so well that it has to stand still while you decide what happens next. If this landed hard, the next video is the exact breathing sequence they stack on top of labeling to drop heart rate 30 beats in under 60 seconds, even with adrenaline screaming. You now have the first weapon. You're going to want the second.